Um, Fine, guys. Today is my first introduction class. Today is going to be my first introduction class about the data science course. So as 3 to 4 days, Hanuman, you already attended the demos. The same thing because we have a very less participants. So I need to repeat it once again.
No
So
issue.
don't
No
worry. Yeah,
issue.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, yes, yeah, guys, yeah. So actually, we are here to learn about a course which is going to be about a technology. We can say that which is going to be a full stack data science course actually. So basically, whenever it comes to the full stack data science, so what basically we are going to be gets required actually. So to become a full stack data science engineer or a full stack data scientist, so what exactly the different technologies or what are the different concepts which we have to learn it actually. So let me explain about what is full stack first of all. So full stack generally nowadays when you see the courses, so everywhere they're talking about full stack Java, full stack .NET. We have something like a full stack UI, full stack Python. So first of all, what is this full stack basically stands for basically? So why every company is now talking about a full stack engineer, a full stack data scientist, or full stack UI? Why? Because is so they want the candidates. Basically, they want the candidates who can work at any level of the particular project. Like previously, it is not like that. So whenever I skill only one particular part of the project. So while the project is at that stage, then only I can just work with them actually. Even the project lifecycle they have been got changed actually. So now the complete project life cycles and everything has been got changed. So they are not expecting like it is going to be at this stage, then that stage, and then this stage. So they are not trying to do such kind of a project like that actually. Even the real-time project life cycles also has been got changed. So previously we used to do like one by one modules. They used to do it actually. Now they are not doing like that actually, guys. So at a time, there are going to be trying to start up all the possibilities, and then there are integrating all that particular modules actually. So that is what exactly happening in the IT industry. So due to that, what they are saying is we are not looking for the candidates who can work only at this particular level. At any level, you should be in a position to work actually. So you have to be in a position to work at whenever we work in a particular project. So different modules are there. So I cannot say that the candidate should not say that. So I work only at this particular stage only, or I can work only with this particular module. So in a complete project life cycle, so whatever the skills that are going to be gets required. So you need to be now companies are looking for the people who are having a multiple skills that they are going to be having it actually, which they are having a multiple skills. So where they can work at any level of the project, they should be in a position to work with it actually. Right. So that is going to be what we are talking about a full stack. So same thing is applicable even for the full stack data science also. Previously, some years before, I remember like 4 years before, data science means it is all about learning about something called as a machine learning. Data science course means it is just only machine learning is the only thing what we used to use earlier actually. That is the only thing which the people used to learn it actually. But now it was not like that. It's not like only if you learn machine learning, that is not sufficient with that. So we added up some more extra things like deep learning, NLP, and not only that, even some kind of a big data systems, Power BI. So we have been added some kind of a list of some extra skills also. You need not to be an expert in all the skills actually, guys. You need not to be an expert in all the skills actually. At least you should be having some idea about that. So one area you should be expert. Like I was an expert in machine learning. Plus, along with that, I have some key concepts of like, for example, I may know about something like a Power BI. I know it actually. So you may be have to work as part of the Power BI projects. Also, we have to work with them actually, because in a project life cycle, I may require a kind of a Power BI. I may require a machine learning. I may require a deep learning. It may be a multiple skills what we have to do that actually. And one more thing, one more advantage is once if you learn the data science, you need not to be like looking for a only for a specific roles only. We have a multiple skills with us. We have a multiple skills with us. So you can learn, you can just apply for the jobs like which is going to be of a different job roles we can apply it actually. Like mainly I can say that, so once you complete this course, so you can apply something like in the jobs like which is going to be a data analyst jobs we can apply, or even we can say which is going to be something like a data scientist actually. But become a data scientist, it requires a little bit more skills are going to be required. But apart from that, it is going to be something like an ML engineer, or even we can go for something like a deep learning engineer actually we can go for. And even nowadays, even there is a not a lot of requirement for NLP engineers also we have got it actually, guys. So recently we have got some kind of an jobs like which we are going to call it as an what we can say is which is going to be something like an NLP engineers are also one of the skill sets what we are what the companies are looking for actually. So you can just check with all the kinds of the roles, like what are the skill sets they require actually. What is a data analyst requires? What is a machine learning engineer is going to be requires actually. So mainly you can apply for the jobs like which is going to be the machine learning engineer is the main role what we can apply it actually. Machine learning engineer, that is going to be the current role what they are talking about that actually. So they call them as a machine learning engineer. So you can say a machine learning engineer. So who is going to be basically works with machine learning, Python, NLP, may not be NLP, may not be there, but it is going to be some kind of an, whenever I search for the particular jobs, you can find some kind of a skill sets what we are going to be get seeing them actually. We can see some kind of a skill sets actually, like machine learning engineer, what we can see. Machine learning, data analysis, NumPy, SQL, data science, deep learning. You can see it actually, guys. AI or machine learning engineer, what we can see that. Okay, so there also we can see something like an machine learning, which is going to be some data collections, something like that, what we can see with the jobs actually. So senior machine learning engineer, what we can see. So anywhere we can see machine learning, which is going to be Python, NLP, neural networks. These are going to be some of the skills what we are going to be looking. See guys, all these are going to be some of the skill sets or whatever that particular jobs what we can see that actually. And all these are latest hot jobs actually, guys. It's a completely and hot jobs actually. So 1 day before, 2 days before, 2 days ago, you can see most of the jobs has been posted somewhere around 2 days to some around 10 days before only. It has been not like months before actually. Even one of the latest one actually, guys, the latest one is going to be NLP engineer. So NLP engineer is also going to be one of the latest, the most recruitment is going to be going on actually, guys. Really, if you are interested in working with NLP engineering, so there also we are going to be getting a lot of requirements. We are going to get it actually, guys. So which is going to be natural language processing. So notice period of 30 days, we have it actually. Natural language processing, NLP. So Python, NLP, machine learning, natural language processing, deep learning. You can see it actually, guys. Immediate hiring for NLP engineers for at HCL, Chennai, and Bangalore. So we can see some kind of a skill sets what we are going to be gets requiring. So we can see it actually, guys. So NLP engineers. So everywhere there is going to be a lot of requirements, even the latest jobs actually, guys. These are also just like very recently they have been got posted actually. So senior NLP engineer, a computer vision, and which is going to be some kind of a machine learning. So all the techniques actually, guys, all the kind of techniques what we are going to be gets learning actually. So these are going to be some of the, what I can say that there are going to be some kind of a skill sets which the companies are going to be expecting from their particular employees or the candidates. So there are multiple. So the advantage is also like, so due to learning about this particular full stack courses, advantages is even you can just go for some kind of an, like what we can say is, you can go for some kind of an, the skill sets are different roles. We have a different opportunities also what we are going to be having. Earlier, it was only machine learning, but now, as I told you, machine learning was there. Even we are added some kind of a deep learning. After that, they have been got some kind of an requirements of NLP. Even we have been added some kind of a big data systems. So some kind of a big data systems are also maybe they may require, and some kind of a data visualizations, which is going to be done by something like a Power BI technologies. or Power BI tools, something like that. We have a multiple skills we are going to be multiple skills we have to learn it actually. Even some companies are also asking some knowledge of which is going to be SQL also, that are asking about that. So some kind of a skill sets actually, guys. So which makes a completely a full stack data science engineer, what we can call it, what we can call him as actually. So multiple levels, multiple skills, multiple job opportunities, multiple roles. So we have a good opportunities are there. Okay. So today's introduction part is going to be like maybe guys, some of you has been already attended some demo sessions earlier, or maybe already have been attended some of the workshops which I conducted. Generally on Sundays, we'll conduct some kind of a free workshops we'll be conducting to get some kind of and more awareness about the data science courses and all these things. So you maybe have attended those particular workshops and all these things. So the basically my point I want to say here is just please attend, whether you join the course, whether you don't join the course. That is secondary part actually. But the first thing is for 3 days if you attend actually, guys, because 3 days we are going to give a free demo sessions only 3 days. So after joining for 3 days, you have to be, if you are satisfied with our course curriculum and with have been started, if you are satisfied with my concepts and all these things, then you can just pay the fees and then you can start with our regular classes actually. So before that, please attend some around 3 days of demo. 3 days we'll give a free demo sessions only. Basically, in the idea about the demo sessions are to make some idea about what is machine learning. With that 3 classes, you don't get the technical concepts. You don't get any technical concepts in that. So like what we are going to be learning in our class. So what is our course curriculum? So like what topics we are going to be discussing, how the flow will be there, and also some idea about the technology. It's an idea about the technology, guys. We are not going to be learning within the first 3 days only. We don't come to know about all the things actually. It's an introduction part. So you know what is meaning of just an introduction, like in a book, when you're going through a book or some many textbook or something like that, there will be some introduction part will be there, like what is going to be the history, something they will be having, why you have to read this particular book. So same as it is, why you have to attend this course. So what opportunities you have, whatever the doubts you have it actually regarding the technology or the any job opportunities or something like that. So it's a kind of an interactive session between you and me. So where you can have some kind of a discussion. It's like a discussion only, but you are not going to learn anything actually, guys. Just like a discussion. What you know about data science, what I know about a data science. Just try to correlate those particular topics actually. Okay. So first of all, let us start with our discussion with what exactly we are talking about. Something about the machine learning actually, guys. Because machine learning is the first, I cannot explain you like what is data science in the first session itself. First of all, we'll try to learn something called as a data science actually, guys. Sorry, machine learning. Machine learning is a part of your data science course. Machine learning is no doubt, it is one of the core concept actually, which is going to be the main concept which we have to be learning as part of our data science course. So by this time, earlier, some years before, people used to have a different opinion about the data science. But as of now, everybody has been got an idea about, they're looking into the, even they are not working into the data science, but as a technology updates, they're looking at that. What are the other technologies that are working around us? So the guys has been started researching on that particular data science. They're attending some demo sessions and they're attending some kind of a workshops to get some kind of an clarity and understanding about what is data science actually. And what is this machine learning nowadays? I think all of you have got some a little bit knowledge about that. Maybe the points are not completely connected, but at least some idea about this particular what we can say about the machine learning. So simple to say in a easiest way to say about the machine learning is nothing but a simple way to understand about the machine learning is, so we have some data with us. I'll tell you an easiest way. So we have some kind of a data with us. We want to study from that. We want to do some study on that particular data. Based on that particular study, I want to take some kind of a decisions actually. I want to take some kind of a decisions. Like as I can say a lot of examples actually, guys. A lot of examples we can talk about them. Like for example, let us say that, let us talk about some kind of a medical diagnosis data is there. A medical diagnosis is that data is going to be there actually, guys. So in medical diagnosis, let us say some kind of an prediction we want to do it actually, guys. That is, prediction means we know that what is going to be happen in the future actually. So like for example, we want to predict something like whether this patient will be getting an heart attack in the future or not. Nowadays, even recently, we have been seen some kind of a news actually, guys, some kind of a research. That means like some kind of a research. So it was done by one of the one of an a research that means one of an expert in US. By looking at that, that means by diagnosis from that particular eye, so they can predict whether he could get an heart attack in the future or not. It is diagnosis from the it's from retina, some by eye retina. They will analyze the retina's data, and based on that there are going to be, so there is something correlation between the heart attack and the diagnosis of that particular the observation from the eye retinas. It is going to be there. So recently we have been seeing some kind of a news behind that actually. Okay, so coming to the medical diagnosis, prediction is going to be plays a very important factor actually, guys. Plays an important factor. It's not only a business point of view, but even in some kind of a medical diagnosis. So whether this patient or whether this person could be affected in the future with some diabetics, or whether he is going to be good, he may be affected with some high blood pressure, or maybe it is going to be a heart attack or something. It is going to be brain stroke or some kind of an paralysis. So how do you do some kind of a predictions actually, guys? So we have some patients past data is there. So whatever the past patients data is going to be there. So if you analyze the particular past patients data, the past patients data, who has been got some heart attack and who has been didn't get that particular heart attack, they will do some lot of research will do that actually. So we have their particular data actually, guys. So who has been affected with the heart attack and who has been not affected with the heart attack. So we have some kind of an past patients data are going to be there. If you if you study this particular data, we are going to be getting some kind of an insights. We are going to get it actually. So every data is going to provide you some kind of an insights. You take any data actually, guys. You take any data, there is going to be some story behind that. Unless and until we see the data deeply. Simply normally, if you see the data as a values, that is not going to be. So when you have some kind of an customers data is there, some pattern will be there actually, guys. Like some kind of an customers pattern, customers transactions are there. For example, in a e-commerce sites, let us say that in e-commerce sites, let us say that a customer is doing a transaction. So previously, the business used to do some analysis on the transactions, like how many products we are selling, which product is going to be, which is going to be the top products which we are going to be selling, top 10 products, which is generating the highest quantity, or which is going to be nothing but the least products which are going to be, which having the least sales we are having, or which locations are having the highest sales, which location is having the least sales, something that kind of an analysis what they used to do it actually. That is going to be done with the help of something called as a technology, what we used to call it as a business intelligence. So as of now, the business intelligence is almost all an outdated technology actually, guys. Nowadays, we are coming up with some technologies, some names, some came, but business intelligence is an outdated technology actually. So that is what we used to do earlier actually, guys. But as of now, it is not like that actually. So for example, if they try to analyze each and every customer patterns actually, like I don't want the total sales, how much it is done. So it is going to be some kind of an customer patterns. Like for example, for every Monday, the customer is placing an order actually, guys. Let us say that every Monday, a customer is placing an order actually. It is going to be each and every customer pattern. So automatically we can expect. So like next Monday, he is going to be places some kind of an order. So could you expect like what product he may buy it actually? So we can have a chance. So like every maybe he is buying some kind of an electronic gadgets he's buying, or something like he is buying something related to some clothes or something like this he was buying. So which kind of products he is buying the more? or which kind of products he can expect. You can identify that so that we can give some kind of a recommendations directly. So you may be looking for this particular so and so product actually. So this kind of an patterns we are trying to find it off now. It's not like how much sales a particular store has been done or how much particular customer has been done. We are not bothered about those particular transactions actually. So every data is going to give you some kind of an insight. Insight is nothing but the story in the data. So once if you look at the story, once if you look at the data, you will be getting some kind of a story behind them actually. So then we can identify that every Monday, this customer is placing an order. So this Monday, we can expect that. Today, we can expect an order from this particular customer. So even if we have some kind of an idea like which product he is going to be buying, we can directly give him the recommendation before the day only. We can give the recommendations actually. So what I mean to say is every data, even whether the data is a small or large, every data is going to be having some story behind that actually. That story is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as insights. Insights means what do you understood from that particular data? So this customer is placing an order every Monday. That is one insight actually. Or let us say that this customer, after buying an electronic gadget, he is buying some other product actually. So alternatively, he is buying some kind of an electronic gadgets. So today, if he buys a mobile, next month in the next transaction, he is buying something like a clothes, or he is buying some kind of a shoes, something relevant to fashion or something like that. After fashion, he is buying some other thing. So there is some kind of a patterns we can identify them actually, guys. So that is going to be what I can say about some kind of an insights. So based on that particular insights, if you analyze the past patients data, if you study the past patients data, you will get some kind of an insights. So the patients data is containing their particular what is going to be their sugar levels, what is going to be their particular blood pressure, or some other, which is going to be some other application, the other clinical data actually, guys. What is going to be his cholesterol levels actually, something we have collected the data actually. So whether he has been got affected with any heart attack or not. So based on that particular data, some patients has been affected with heart attacks and some of them has been not. So if you analyze the data, so which type of sugar levels, which type of blood pressures, which type of cholesterols, so that will lead. So we can come to some understanding. So if the patient is having both blood pressure and cholesterol, some insights will be there. So you may be affected with the heart attacks actually. Or if it may be sugar and the blood pressure only is there, then it may be no. Some kind of a story will come actually behind the data from that particular data. So based on that, in the new customers, that means, sorry, not new customers, whenever a new patient comes, so we can easily predict them whether he could be. So that according to that, a proper, which is going to be diet, medication, okay, some kind of a physical activities, the doctors can recommend. So saying that, so there is a chance of getting an heart attack for you in the coming future. So we have to take some kind of a medications and all these things. Due to that, it's going to be saves the life of a particular person actually. So that is what generally we used to do it actually. But problem here is nowadays the data size has been became a very, very large. It is not in terms of number of patients data actually, guys. Number of factors actually. It's not just like depends only on the heart attack does not depends only on these particular three factors actually. There may be so many other new things are coming, new research things are going to be gets coming. So and so protein is going to be responsible for getting an heart attack, or so and so other thing is going to be some kind of a vitamin is going to be responsible. If this vitamin deficiency comes, so there is going to be some research is coming actually. So there are so many factors are going to be gets coming actually, guys. Factors are nothing but on what basis this decision is going to be taken actually. The data size, that means if the number of patients data, if the number of patients are more, it may be some 1,000 patients or 10,000 patients or millions of patients. Storage is nowadays not a problem actually, guys. The storage is not a problem because nowadays storage has been become very, very cheap. Nowadays, you know that how much cheap of the storage is going to be gets coming actually. So previously we used to buy some hard disk or buy some pen drives at how much cost, and now how much cost is going to be this pen drives and the hard disk is going to be costing now. They have been very, it's very, the storage has been become very cheaper actually. But the problem here is understanding these particular factors, like based on these particular factors. So how do you decide it actually? It's not like a one factor or not like a two factors. There are so many factors are going to be there. Like for example, I can say, as I told you, know, it's like a discussions actually, guys. Like for example, I have been taken a cab. So we have been, we'll take the cabs, no guys, like Ola, Uber, something like that. So let us say that the distance I have been traveled and what is going to be the price, what is going to be the amount I have to pay it actually. For example, the distance is 5 kilometers, the price is going to be 50 rupees. For example, if the distance is going to be, let us say 10 kilometers, the price is going to be 100 rupees. If the distance is 8 kilometers, the price is 80 rupees. If asked you to understand the data, normally anybody can, a normal kid can easily identify that. That is going to be nothing but each kilometer there are charging 10 rupees, it is going to be charging. But the problem is not only it depends on this actually, guys. It's going to be depends on some other, let us say some kind of an, like some other factors, like what is going to be the duration, what is the time, what is going to be the duration it has been got taken actually. So let us say that the 5 kilometers has been taken, let us say 12 minutes of time. So then if I say that the price is going to be some 65 rupees actually. For example, if it is going to be 24 minutes, it has been got taken. Let us say that the price may be somewhere around 250 rupees it is going to be. For 8 kilometers, it has been got taken. For example, 20 minutes, it has been got taken actually. For example, then let us say that the price is going to be something around 167 rupees. Now, if I ask you to find out how this particular data is coming, we cannot understand this particular data. I just given some randomness only. I don't know how they have been came. Even I also does not know how it has been came actually. But now it is not just depending on the distance. It is also depending on the duration. So what I can see is this size, I can handle it actually, guys. The size towards this, like number of records, I can handle it very easily. But number of columns increases, that is a problem actually. Not only the duration, there are some other factors are also there. Like what is going to be cap type, it is going to be there. Whether it is going to be something like an economy or a premium, or whether it is going to be something like an auto. So there are some other factors are also there. Not only that, there are so many other factors are going to be there. Let us going to be it's a peak time or not. If it is a peak time, how much? If it is a non-peak time, how much it is going to be? So the problem here is the price is not just depending only on the distance now. It is also depends on the distance the person travel, the what is the right duration, what is the type of the cam, whether it was a peak time or not. There are so many other things are also going to be there actually, guys. So now if I ask it like how you got this 65 from this data means, so normally we cannot do it actually. We can do it, but it will take some time actually, guys. It will really going to take some kind of a time actually. So there the machine learning is coming to your rescue actually, guys. There the machine learning. So nowadays data storage has been become very easy, so that everybody is storing a lot of data, necessary and not necessary. First of all, they are storing the data actually. And after that, they are going to be using for some kind of an analytics. After 1 year or after 2 years, they will come to know that. So there is going to be some data which we have been stored 2 years back. Let us analyze the data and get some kind of an information from that actually. So problem is going to be the data, this each column, I'm not talking about each row actually, guys. Each row is going to be nothing but an observation actually. So number of observations are going to be even 1 million also, I don't have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with the data actually. Even 10 million records or billions of records are also there, it does not matter with that. Each column is going to be what we are going to call it as a dimension. Each column is going to be generally we are going to call it as a one dimension, we are going to call it as actually. So what is the dimension actually here is we'll discuss it later actually. So each column you can represent as a one dimension. So the data is becoming an higher dimension data actually, guys. Higher dimension means where that number of features are going to be gets increasing actually. Features, these are nothing but the features actually, guys. So whether the cap type is one feature, duration is one feature, distance is one feature, whether it's a peak time is or not is going to be one feature, because based on these particular features only, this particular price is going to be dependence actually. So on what factors we have to depend? So whether a person is going to be gets an admission, whether a student is going to be gets like admission into one of the university. So what are the factors that decides it actually, guys? Mainly his particular, what is going to be his marks, number of marks. Okay, depending on that, like rank. Or for example, if you have any reservation actually. So what type of reservation it is going to be there. So these are the factors which will decide. Obviously, we know that the first name and the last name will never decide to get an admission actually. First name and last name may be there in the data set, but they may not be affecting actually. So depending on the name or depending on the first name and last name, the universities won't give any admissions actually. It is completely based on the marks or based on the rank or based on some any reservation is there, something like that. Depending on that only these factors will be decided actually. It does not decides based on the what is his father name or what is his father status or what is the father employment or whether they have a two-wheeler or four-wheeler. That does not depends on that. That does not depends on that, isn't it, to decide an admission. But in a banking applications, whenever we want to give a loan to a customer actually, so whenever the banks want to give a loan to the customer actually, so then the other factors are going to be, what are the factors that are going to be decided? So here the marks and the rank is not going to decide actually. Here how much salary he is getting, okay, and whether he was having any own house or not, okay, how many children they have. So these are going to be some of the factors which is going to decide whether that particular the loan, whether the person is going to be getting a loan or not, is decided by these particular factors actually. So same like that, whether the person is going to be getting an heart attack or not, it does not depends on what is the salary of the person, okay, or it does not depends on how many children they have it actually. Those factors are not going to be gets affected actually. So his sugar levels, his blood pressure, his cholesterol levels, some kind of a protein availability or some kind of a vitamin deficiency or some other factors are going to be decides actually. So the factors which is deciding your whatever the variable we are trying to predict is going to be what we are going to call it as features actually, guys. Each feature is going to be what we are going to call it as and higher the dimension. The problem is going to be higher dimension data actually, guys. Nowadays, the main problem with the data is then higher dimensions of the data. Storage is becoming very easy. So these particular data engineers and all these things, they will directly store the data. The responsibility is not like what data you are storing. So the client has get this data, I stored the data. That's it. I created a data pipeline where I have been stored this particular data actually. But when the problem comes is whenever this data analyst or business analyst want to understand and analyze the data, because the data size is in very higher dimensions, there the main problem is coming actually. So there they're taking the help of nowadays, this data analyst and business analyst, they are taking the help of the machines actually. Why? Because now what they are doing it actually, guys, the data was directly interpreted not by the humans. The data was given to the machine. Machines are going to be telling the story actually, guys. That means the machines are going to be studies the data and they are getting some kind of an insights actually. Now, based on these insights, I can do some kind of a prediction actually. Hope understood the point actually, guys. So data was now given to the machines. Humans are not interpreting the data actually, guys. Machines are going to be interpreting the data. So how this particular price is coming from the features, like what are the features that has been I discussed. So whether it is a peak time or not, what is the cap type, how much distance they have been traveled, what is the travel type, so etc etc. How they are related, if you ask the machine will tell you. Machine is going to tell you like how that particular value is related or which is going to be derived from the particular whatever the features we have got it actually. So machines are learning from the data actually, guys. Machines are learning from the data actually. So whatever based on the whatever they have been learned, they are doing some kind of a predictions actually. It is all about something about a predictive analysis actually. Machine learning is all about a predictive analysis. Don't worry about what is deep learning, what is AI. All these things we'll discuss in our coming classes actually, guys. So data was given to the machine. So give the past customers data actually, guys. Give the past customers data. Tell the machine, like who are the defaulters, who are the non-defaulters. Machine will predict for the future customers. The machine will tell you like to which customers the loan should be approved and for which customers the loan should not be approved. Gives the past whatever the patient's data is there. So the machine is going to study the data actually, and it will try to find out. So how can you decide whether this patient is going to get an heart attack or not? Whether it is really depending on diabetic, or whether it is depends on the sugar level, or whether it is really depends on the blood pressure, or whether it is going to be some other clinical data, which will decide that. Machines are going to decide that actually. And based on that, whenever a new patient data was given, the machines will predict whether this person is going to get an heart attack in the future or not. Based on that, we can just recommend some the diet plans and all these things. We can recommend them actually. So many examples we can talk about them, guys. So many examples we can talk about them. Okay, there are so many examples are there. We'll talk about all the use cases in the later application. But the main important thing is, if machines are learning, or if machines will learn them automatically, guys. Machines are automatically learns the data, learned from the data actually. If machines are learning automatically by themselves, then what is our work here, guys, actually? What we are going to do? So you are saying that data will be given to the machine is going to learns the data, and based on that, it is going to be do some kind of a prediction. If everything is done by the machine, then what is our work actually, guys? Machines can learn, but the environment, whatever that we have to create, that means the machine that has to learn means we have to create some kind of an environment. We have to create it actually. So what environment? So really, is that diabetic is going to be related? That means is a really the diabetic is going to be related with that particular heart attack or not? Machines does not knows about that. Machine does not knows about that. So I have to, like, for example, a doctor has to say, doctor knows whether that particular sugar levels are going to be having any relation with that particular, what we can talk about the heart attack. Now, if the doctor says that, doctor is a domain expert, isn't it? So he's a medical expert actually. So he says that, like, if you want to predict this, the prediction of an heart attack is going to be depends on the sugar level, yes or no. If the expert says, then we have to tell the machine saying that, yes, this diabetic level or the glucose level will decide it. You please study the data actually. So, or otherwise, I can tell you in a simplest way actually, guys. Like, for example, you know that tossing a coin actually, guys. Tossing a coin, or the result of tossing a coin actually. So when you toss a coin, the result is going to be either head or a tail. As we all of you know that it's a what we are going to call it as a random experiment actually. The result, which is going to be the tossing a coin, is a random experiment actually. Because the result of tossing the coin of a head or a tail, it never depends on any factors actually. No factor will be decides. Like, it does not decides with the age of the person. It does not depends on the gender of the person, or it is not going to be decides by the height or weight of the person, or what is the current temperature of the, let us say, what is going to be the current temperature, the climatic temperature. It's not body temperature. It is going to be a climatic temperature, or whether it is going to be how it is going to be the winds. Let us say it's a wind is there towards the left or towards the right. We don't have any wind states actually, or wind speed. All these won't decide the result of a tossing of a coin actually. So tossing a coin is going to be completely a random experiment, which does not have any dependency. Just I'm telling you, like, how the machines will learn. Machines can't learn automatically by themselves actually. Like, for example, just actually to machines to learn, we have to require a lot of data actually, guys. Just an example actually, guys. I have given some gender and the result. That means I'm asking some various people to toss the coin, and I'm just noting down what is the result when they toss it the coin actually. Just let us say that. So there is a male person has tossed the coin. Let us say that the result has got the tail. When female tossed the coin, let us say that we have got a head actually. Let us say that. Again, another male has tossed the coin. We have again got the tail. And again, one more male has tossed the coin. Again, we have got the tail. And whenever female tossed the coin, let us say that we have got the head. And let us say again, one more male has tossed the coin. Let us say that we have got the tail actually. Just an example I'm talking about. Now, as we know that as a machine learning expert, I know that this result will never depend on the gender of the person. But if I ask the same, if I give the same data to the machine, machine really does not knows that. Machine does not have any human intelligence. Natural intelligence was not there. It is having only artificial intelligence. That's the reason why you call it as an artificial intelligence actually, guys. If machines can think as just like a humans, then we are going to call it as a natural intelligence. It's not a natural intelligence, but acquired by some kind of an artificial intelligence. They have been also become more and more intelligent actually. Now, whenever I give the same data to the machine, if I give the same data to the human, so as a human, I know that I can say that, sir, gender never depends on the result. The who is the gender of the person who is tossing a coin can be never used for identifying the what is going to be the result of the coin actually, the result of tossing the coin. We know that, but if I give the same data to the machine never knows about that. The gender is a factor which will never decide the result. But if I give this data to the machine will immediately start studying the data. And machine also says that the data is very good data because I can do without having any confusion. I have been identified that. So what the machine identifies it actually, guys. Just for an example, I have given the data like this. Unfortunately, what happened actually, guys, whenever male tosses the coin, we have got the tails. When females tossing the coin, we are getting a head actually. But that is not all factors. If I do for another 10 times, 20 times, automatically some randomness will come actually. But machines, what they will do is the machines will say that what is the insights you find. It will immediately identify that. If gender is equal to male, then the result is going to be nothing but it's a tail. If the gender is going to be nothing but it's a female, it is going to be something like the result is going to be nothing but it's a head actually. That means the machine really does not knows that the gender and the result is not at all related. So whether they are related or not, that is what we have to do it actually, guys. That is what we have to do that. This technique is nothing but what we are going to call it as a feature selection is the technique what we are going to call it as, which is a very important skill for a data scientist actually, or a machine learning expert as of now. So just for a timing, that means even if we have been not started with the practical applications, you can just understand like what is meaning of a feature selection, how much importance it is given for the data in a data science or a data analysis project actually. So that skill is nothing but what we are going to call it as a feature selection skill, what we are going to call it as. It's going to be what we are going to call it as a feature selection technique actually, guys. So how do you select the features? So which features are going to be decides the target, the variable which we are trying to predict actually, guys. That is going to be all part of, if you can see, all part of something like data science, machine learning. As part of their topics only, we have to decide it actually, guys. So we have a lot of topics on that actually. Can you see? Feature selection technique in machine learning, feature selection methods and how to choose them, how to choose a feature selection method for machine learning, top 7 selection techniques in machine learning. These are going to be all that particular top topics what we can see it actually, guys. So feature selection is going to be a skill which will decide so whether this particular dependency is there or not there. If you ask the machine, tell me, is there any dependency is there? So the machine will say that yes, gender is having having a higher dependency with the result. Because using this data, whether I able to identify the head and tails easily, the machine will think about that. If you ask the machine says that 100% the result is depending on the result type, the whatever the gender is there. But as a domain expert, we know that the tossing the coin is never depending on the gender of that particular person. So hope you understood this, guys. What exactly this particular data scientist or machine learning engineer is going to be doing that. Machines can't learn automatically by themselves. Machines cannot learn automatically by themselves. We have to, that means as a machine learning expert or a data scientist, so we are basically responsible to what the data feed we have to do it actually. Simply if I have a data set with us, we have a data set with us. If I feed that entire data set directly to the machine will learn actually, guys. I'm not saying that machine will learn, but it is going to be a kind of an long learning, the wrong learning it is going to be doing it actually. Why it is going to do the wrong learning? Because it does not really knows that. For example, if I give the same data directly to the machine says that if gender is male, then result is a tail. If gender is equals to female, it is going to be head. But these insights practically are not going to work actually, guys. Because when you go to the real application and ask a male to toss a coin, It will be either head or a tail. If you toss a coin by a female, it is also going to be head or a tail actually. We can't say that actually. So that's why in between this particular machine and the data, there will be one ML expert will be there actually, guys. So whatever the skills the ML expert is going to be required. So there are some skills, some kind of a skills that are going to be required actually, guys. So data every time will not be an appropriate data may not comes. Sometimes it is going to be some kind of a missing data or some irrelevant data will come actually. So due to that, what happens, we know that. So wrong decisions and the wrong insights will come actually. So the machine learning engineer is going to be helps the machine to learn in a proper way. I'm not saying that I'm a machine learning engineer directly make the machine to learn. Machine learning engineer will only help the machine to learn by itself actually. For that, whatever the environment that is required, that environment is going to be created and that is generated by the, which is going to be by this ML expert actually, guys. It is like an ML expert is going to be, he is only responsible for creating the environment actually, such that the machines can learn it actually, guys. But how the machines are going to learn? The machines are going to learn with the help of something what we are going to call it as the algorithms. Algorithms means immediately don't get confused with that. Sir, we have learned some kind of an algorithms while we are learning C language, C++ or something. So learn about something like a data structures. Is it relevant to that? Nothing relevant to that actually, guys. Here completely we are going to be learning something about an algorithms, what we are going to call it as a machine learning algorithms is what we are trying to learn it actually. So as part of our course curriculum, mainly studying the ML algorithms is important, guys. Without learning an ML algorithm, if we directly implement it, there is no use of that actually. There is no use of that actually, guys. Implementation is very easy. Really, once you start with the practical, you will really wonder that, like, sir, how simple that particular machine learning is there. Implementation is very easy. Implementation is very, very easy actually, guys. Why? Because we are using some help of a Python coding or Python, the syntaxes will use it actually. But practically, why we are implementing this, why we are doing this. So that is what the skill we have to understand it actually, guys. So like example, I can just tell you an example actually, guys. I'll tell you one example, just an example. I have something called as an student's marks. I'm having something called as a student marks are there actually, guys. This student marks has been got something like around 20. Let us say I'm writing in a sequential order only. 32, something like 40, something like 48 or 68, some 74, 83 or something like 98 and something like an, okay, whatever it may be, 98. This is the data actually, guys. So don't worry about that. I'm saying that I want to apply something called as a scaling technique. I will apply it actually. I'll just tell you if I tell you what is the technique, you will understand very easily. So what do you mean to say scaling technique means? There are different type of scaling techniques are there. Let us say that I'm using something like a min-max scaling. I'll tell you the formula actually, guys. So in school days, what we used to do it actually, guys. Why it is used, we never thought about that. In our school days, why we are using this formula, nobody is going to tell us about that. Nobody is going to be tells about this actually, guys. So we know that, for example, actually, guys, if I say this is going to be a triangle, for example, if I said this is going to be A, B, and a C actually, guys. So what is AC? If you ask it to find out, you know how to find it of AC. If I give the points, if I say this is X1, Y1, and this is going to be X2, Y2, practically speaking, it is going to be X1 and Y2 actually, right? Because X1 coordinate will be the same for this particular triangle actually, and C is going to be nothing but this time X is going to be changes, but the Y is going to be changed, that remains the same actually, guys. So practically speaking, if A is having a point of X1, Y1, if B is going to be having a point of X1, Y2. Why? Because your X coordinate will be the same actually, guys. If I represent in a two-dimensional space, your X coordinate will be the same only. In this case, Y coordinate will be the same actually, guys. X2, Y2, and this is going to be something like an X2, Y2 will be there actually. So if I ask you to find out what is AC, that means what is the AC, what is going to be AB, and what is going to be BC, you know the formulation. Immediately we'll apply the formula and we do it actually, guys. But why you are doing that first of all? Why you are doing that? For what reason it is going to be there? So I'll tell you guys. So the distance between A to C, whatever the distance between the A to C, is what we are going to call it as an Euclidean distance actually, guys. This is what we call it as an Euclidean distance. And this particular AB plus BC, if I want to travel from A to C, if you want to travel from A to C, there are two routes are there. Directly from A to C, we can travel like this. Otherwise, I have to travel from A to B and then B to C actually, guys. So that is what we are going to call it as which we are going to call them as an absolute distance, or what we are going to call it as a Manhattan distance actually. Don't worry about that. What is the distance calculation? We know that. But sir, why do you use them actually? We never thought about that. We never thought about that particular. What is meaning of an Euclidean distance? One is what is meaning of a Manhattan distance, or what is going to be an absolute distance? Nobody has been thought about that. Nobody has been thought about that actually, guys, isn't it? So here, even in our machine learning also, explaining the formula, I can explain this, what is going to be scaling technique actually, guys. What is min-max scaling technique? X minus minimum value divided by maximum minus minimum actually, guys. So what you have to do is, if you want to scale this data, scaling means we are changing the data scale actually, guys. Scaling of the data, it's what we call it as. So what is happening here is, from every element, what we have to do is, you have to subtract that particular minimum value divided by the maximum minus minimum value, what I have to do it actually. So I'll just tell you, if I ask you to do that, anybody can do this particular data actually, guys. It is going to be 20 minus minimum is going to be 20 divided by maximum is 98 minus minimum is going to be 20. If I ask you to apply the formula, everybody can apply the formula actually. Subtract the minimum value from every element divided by the maximum minus minimum actually. So 20 minus 20 divided by 98 minus 20, which is nothing but indirectly 0 actually. I'm not writing remaining things actually, guys. 98 by minus 20 divided by maximum is 98 minus which is minimum is going to be 20. Then it is going to work actually. That means if I do this scaling, all this data will drop between 0 to 1 only. It will drop between 0 to 1. Minimum value will always comes to 0. Maximum value always comes to 1. But what about the middle values? There will be some value between 0 to 1 actually. This is what we can call it as min-max scaling. If I tell you the formula, anybody can do it actually. But the idea here is why you have to do this min-max scaling. That is what you have to understand actually, guys. So how we are doing that is an easy, but why we are doing that, that is going to be the main skill, what we have to study about this actually. So how do you apply this actually, guys? I can write any code manually. I can write it actually. Just an example. Don't worry about that. How I'm going to be doing it actually, guys. For that, I'm going to be using a language like what I'm going to be using. A Python coding, I'm going to be using it actually, guys. Don't worry about that. Just see how simple. I just want to just show you like how to implement these particular techniques actually. Don't worry about that. What is the code I'm writing? No worries about that. Just have a look at that code, like how I'm writing that particular code in a very easiest and a simplest way. Don't expect that like we'll write a lengthy codes like the main program, class in Java, save the program, compile the program, execute the program. We don't do all this work actually, guys. It's a kind of an interactive mode of execution. Write the code, execute it. That's it. No need to save the file. No need to compile the program. No need to execute like your C, C++, Java coding. We never do it actually, guys. But we require some kind of a libraries we require actually, guys. Don't worry about that. I imported a library called as a NumPy. So NumPy is a library actually, guys. A Python library, what we can call it as. Like what are the marks we have it actually, guys? It is an array. It's nothing but you are creating an array actually, guys. Like what are the marks we have? 20, 32. Same marks I'm taking it actually, guys. 40 and 68. Even if we take in a sequential order, it does not matter. 74 and it is going to be 83 and we have a 98 actually. So this is your marks, what we have it actually, guys. If you are good at mathematics, you can do it easily, guys. That means if you're good at mathematics, we can do it very easily. So what we have to do it actually, guys, from every marks minus, we have to find the minimal value actually, guys. NP dot minimum of marks divided by, it's simple maths actually, guys, divided by, it is MP dot marks of which is going to be the, NP dot which is going to be the maximum of marks. Maximum of marks minus which is going to be nothing but NP dot which is going to be minimum of. which is going to be nothing but the marks actually. Execute, guys. Directly we'll get the output from 0 to 1 actually. So I given in sequential order. Even if I don't give it in a sequential order also, you will get it actually. Minimum value always drops to 0. Maximum value always drops with 1. But why I'm doing, I'm not explaining them. It depends why we are doing that. I'll depend actually. But you have written the code now. Sir, if I don't know, sir, is it necessary to know that code now? That means what is a formulation of the min-max coding? Not required actually, guys. It's not required. Why? Because is you really don't require to do that kind of an application. So if you want to do that, directly we have some kind of a libraries are there actually, guys. So everything is readily available actually. Sir, that means do you want to learn about what is min-max formula? Like that tomorrow, if we have to remember all the formulas we have to remember, not required actually, guys. Not required, really not required actually. Because Python provides you all these kind of an utilities. So if you want to do the min-max scaling, directly they have given a function called as a min-max function is going to be there. The name of the function is going to be what we are going to call it as. Sorry guys, I done a small mistake. It is going to be from sklearn. Okay, it's going to be from sklearn. It is going to be nothing but see guys, it is going to be min-max scale actually. Min-max scale of which is going to be marks. I don't know what is the formula, guys. I don't know what is the formula. Here I know the formula. That's why I have been explained about that. Here I don't know the formula. I know that I have to do the min-max scaling. Results are exactly the same. You can see the difference actually, guys. It's very clear, guys. Even you are not familiar with the Python code, but you can see I'm writing clearly whatever the marks I have got minus it is going to be the minimum of the marks divided by maximum minus which is minimum. I got some numbers. But here no formulation I have been got written. No logic, no code, nothing I have been got written. I have written some code actually, guys. That is not a programmatical code, just a small scripting code we have been got written. I imported some function called as the min-max scale, and I'm just calling the min-max scale, pass at the marks actually, guys. Can you see, guys? Exactly, including the last digit number also, it is including 0.15384,615. Or even I can do it manually also actually, guys. Manually means, for example, 40 is there. I want to calculate for 40. 40 minus 20 divided by, because minimum is 20 actually, guys, minus, which is going to be 98 minus, which is going to be 20 actually. If you want, we can see the numbers actually, guys. 0.25641,025 is there actually. 26 is there, but this is 256 now. So rounded off to which is going to be 26. It was rounded off actually. Remaining number has been got ignored. See guys, how simple the functionalities are going to be there. So as a machine learning expert, machines will learn. Only thing is we have to give some kind of an feed, some input. So which is going to be, we are creating some kind of an, what we can say is, we are creating some kind of an environment so that the machines can learn by themselves. Machines will learn, but how they will learn, which we are going to be doing this actually, guys. Okay. So that is going to be basically the idea about that. So what are that particular skills, which I'm going to discuss in the tomorrow's class, guys. Okay. So today, just an idea about, like I have taken almost more than 1 hour, just an introduction. Like what is machine learning? Machines are going to learn from the data. Based on that, what we can do some kind of a predictions can be gets done. Okay. So how that particular predictions can be done, depending on the past data, we can just analyze them and we can take some kind of a decisions, like what could happen in the particular features. Like examples I told you about that. Plus, how do you learn it actually, guys? Like some of the skills that are going to be gets required actually. So here I'm using some kind of a mathematical skill. Mathematical formulations I have been got written, but I didn't done any manual work. Manual calculations, I didn't done it. With the help of a computer, I'm going to be doing this. Really, if ask you to do that, it will take a lot of time for us. Okay. So that is for the today's discussion, guys. So tomorrow we'll have a discussion about what are the particular skills we require apart from this. So I'm going to explain the technical aspects in the tomorrow's class, guys. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. I think some people has been joined a little bit late. Jagadish.
Yeah, I joined a little late.
Yeah.
I have one query.
Yes.
Are these sessions going to be recorded and shared?
Yes, absolutely. Through the Google Drive.
Yeah. because I'm pursuing some other trainings also.
Okay. So they will be provided as a Google Drive link. We'll be having through the Google Drive all the day-to-day recording videos, and whatever the notes I'm writing here now, like this is the code, whatever the code. Along with that, even this particular whiteboard, whatever I'm writing here, even that is also going to be shared to you.
Okay. Thanks. And what is the duration of this course?
Yes, once again.
Duration of this course?
5 months.
5 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Fees, sir?
Fine. Yeah.
Fees?
Yeah, guys. Anyone, guys? Any more questions? Yes, I think Abraham, I think you also joined lately. I can't see you. Rajesh. Yeah, remaining has been joined. Yeah.
So what's the fees, sir? What's the fees?
Fees is 16K, 16. 16K is the fees. And you can talk regarding that to my backend team. Our backend team will contact you. Fees related, you can just discuss with them. Remaining any technical aspects, you can talk with me.
Vamsi, are we also going to do any project on this?
Yes, we'll do at the end of the training. We'll be doing the projects.
Okay,
fine. Yes. Any more questions? Okay, guys. Just for today, we'll end up the session for today. So please join tomorrow at same time, guys, 7:30 a.m. Okay. And tomorrow we'll just have a discussion about what are the technical things that we have to learn. And after 3 or 4 classes, we'll start with our regular class, demo classes actually, guys. After that, we'll start with our regular classes actually. Okay. So thanks for today and have a nice day. We'll meet up tomorrow, guys. Thank you all of you.
bye.
Bye.